Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching The Right Stand here on CNN News 18 with me, Poonam Burde. The Game of Thrones in Karnataka Congress continues. The fight to govern in Bengaluru is playing out here in Delhi. Two chief ministerial hopefuls vying for the one top job, and neither of them ready to back down. Not even an inch will be ceded from their demands. The epicenter of all activity today was the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, the president of the Congress party. A meeting with Siddaramaiah and Shiv Kumar personally, and then a huddle with his counsels who are guiding him on how to deal with this situation. Now, on record, the Congress maintains all is well. There is complete unity and a decision will be reached soon. 48 hours to 72 hours is the timeline the Congress has set for not just the decision, but for an entire cabinet to be formed and for the government to be in place, which means the swearing-in ceremony will also happen within the next 2 to 3 days. They claim that all that we hear are mere rumors, which should not be paid heed to. But that's not stopping either of the camps from applying pressure. Former Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah, is ahead in the race as far as the next Chief Minister is concerned. Many suggest that. He's making sure he's driving home that particular point. Here's what we learned from our sources of what he told the party top brass, not just Mallikarjun Kharge, but Rahul Gandhi as well, who he met this afternoon. He told them that he has the highest approval rating in all of the surveys. He's also the MLA's choice as far as that report was sought by the Karnataka observers. He also then says that Shiv Kumar, the other person vying for the top job, has only 10% approval rating. So where are you going to get the popularity and the consensus from? He also then talks of the Ahinda votes, someone who comes from the Kuruba community. He says these Ahinda votes will dump the party right before Lok Sabha elections next year if Shiv Kumar gets the top job. Siddaramaiah is also believed to have told the top brass that he will retire from politics altogether if he is not made the chief minister. He even then allegedly warned of not being involved in any future party matters. Is that something that the Congress can afford? He also then highlighted that Shiv Kumar is someone who's been in the crosshairs of multiple investigating agencies, including the Enforcement Directorate. He says if DKS is made the chief minister, then those cases that he faces, those allegations that he faces, could be used as a tool to destabilize the Karnataka government. But Shiv Kumar is not one to back down this easily. He too is lobbying and lobbying very, very hard. This is what we learned from our sources within his camp. We've learned that he's outrightly rejected the offer to become the Deputy Chief Minister. He will not be playing second fiddle to Siddaramaiah. He's made that very, very clear. He also then played the Dalit card. He pitched Mallikarjun Kharge as the Chief Minister. Remember, he not just is the chief of the Congress party, he's also someone who hails from the state of Karnataka. DKS then said that all MLAs will back Kharge as the CM. He could be the consensus candidate that everyone puts their weight behind. DKS is also believed to have told Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge that a Dalit Chief Minister will strengthen the Congress's coalition as well, something that could help the party in 2024 elections. So is there a third name in the running? For the top job, there may be just two contenders or what we're learning as far as Shiv Kumar and Siddaramaiah is concerned. But could there be a dark horse? Is there a third compromise candidate that the Congress is looking at? Pallavi and Harish, my colleagues, join us to get us the very latest, both of what's happening here in Delhi and what's happening in Bengaluru. And senior editor Pallavi, getting you in first, there could be a third name that could crop up. That could be the compromise that both Shiv Kumar and Mr. Siddaramaiah would agree upon.
Yes, absolutely. Though it's still too early to talk about this now, because I think one final push will be given by the Congress party to try and come out with some kind of a solution. See, the bottleneck over here, that's what Congress party is pointing out, is that as of now, there are two main contenders, which of course is Shiv Kumar as well as Siddaramaiah. Now, I think tonight, or there are going to be yet another attempt in the morning, emissaries being sent to ensure that one of them blinks first. Shiv Kumar, as we know, remains adamant about not going in for a rotation system or, a deputy chief minister. So what is really going to be the way out? So what top Congress sources have been telling me is that we as of now have these two main contenders, but should there be no breakthrough, then the possibility of a third person emerging is something which cannot be ruled out. What is very important is to have someone who would be acceptable to all. And the second thing, of course, has a maximum number of support of the MLAs.
Whether that consensus candidate is something that is decided on, is that the middle path the Congress really needs, or will they finally be able to placate one camp? That decision is going to come out within the next 24 to 48 hours. An entire cabinet and government would be ready in the next 72 hours, as confirmed on record by the Congress party. Now, the final responsibility to make this decision rests completely on the shoulders of Mallikarjun Kharge, the chief of the Congress party. But Sonia Gandhi, the former president, is playing an important role, that of a peacemaker. She spoke to both those contenders today, and this is what she had to tell them. To DK Shiv Kumar, Sonia Gandhi made it very, very clear that there will be justice. But the message to Siddaramaiah was sent was also that he has to ensure there is no public bickering. There cannot be a rift out in the open, much like what we are seeing in Rajasthan. To DKS, Sonia Gandhi is believed to have said that his sacrifice, his loyalty will be rewarded. Many see that as hint as Sonia trying to placate DK Shiv Kumar because the Congress has decided that Siddaramaiah is going to be the next chief minister. But a message has also been sent to Siddaramaiah that even though he may be made the chief ministerial face now or declared as a chief minister, he has to maintain balance. Promises have to be kept. Harish, my colleague, joining us live for more details on this. Harish, we've seen several MLAs that were brought by both camps to the national capital. It was muscle flexing, a show of strength by both camps. All of those MLAs were given to understand have been asked to return by the party top brass, but the two contenders are staying put in Delhi.
Yes, remember, no consensus has been reached now. The High Command really struggling to ensure that there's one formula that both these parties will accept. And the High Command understood that the optics outside wherever the meeting was taking place wasn't something that was doing a great deal to the Congress's image. Remember, we've seen DK Shivakumar supporters outside wherever he went to have talks, whether it's with KC Venugopal, Surjewala, or even with Rahul Gandhi. Similarly, a whole entourage of MLAs with Siddaramaiah. The party High Command wanted to ensure that drama doesn't play outside while there are talks still going on. That's why they've been asked to leave. But both these leaders asked to stay in Delhi because, as I mentioned, a lot more talk that needs to be done. Perhaps, as Pallavi pointed, there's still a lot more time, 24 to 36 hours, before the Congress High Command will look at a third option. Right now, they're still confident that there can be one formula that both these parties will agree on. But right now, none of them willing to budge from their stance. DK Shivakumar making it very clear that he wants that chief minister chair. And even if we are talking about a rotation, it has to be he who gets the first shot at the chair. Siddaramaiah clearly not willing to do that. And the Congress really running out of options, and they don't have too much time. There are already leaders from Karnataka who have told the party High Command that if this continues, the party's image takes a beating in Karnataka. Not something that they would want, especially just days after getting an impressive mandate of 135 seats.
The mandate has been won, but the trust of the party top brass is something that still needs to be won by these two particular leaders. Harish and Pallavi, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. But it's not just the fate of Karnataka that hinges on this particular decision that Mallikarjun Kharge makes. We've seen how in the past the Congress party has had to pay a price for when they couldn't handle revolt and rebellion better. One such example was that of Punjab, a state where the Aam Aadmi Party is now in power. Remember, the rift between Captain Amrinder Singh, the former chief minister, and Navjot Singh Sidhu, who was the PCC chief back then, was completely public. That led to Captain Amrinder Singh leaving the party, floating his own outfit and then joining the BJP. Charanjit Singh Channi was then made the chief minister. What happened is what we saw. The Aam Aadmi Party rose to power in that state. Rajasthan is another such state in which for the last 5 years, we've seen that drift play out. Even now, in election year, we are seeing an open war of words between Sachin Pilot and the sitting Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. An open war in a year where it goes to elections, a state that is extremely crucial for Lok Sabha as well. That definitely does not fare good for the Congress party. Another such state was Chhattisgarh. Remember, the 2.5-year formula for two different contenders of the chief ministerial position was floated in this particular state. Bhupesh Baghel and T.S. Singhdeo were the two contenders. What happened? That rift widened. The disquiet continued in the state unit because the decision was never implemented. Bhupesh Baghel continues to be the chief minister even now, 4.5 years later. Madhya Pradesh is another such state. If you remember, Kamal Nath and Jyotiraditya Scindia were the two leaders of that particular state. That leadership rift broke the party. Scindia walked out, and within 15 months of Kamal Nath taking over as the chief minister in the state, the government fell. Shivraj Singh Chauhan of the BJP then formed government as the chief minister. So the Congress has paid a heavy price in the past when they couldn't handle this kind of rebellion better. So they cannot definitely afford for a repeat of that. Definitely not 1 year before Lok Sabha elections happen. Now, hectic parleys have been on ever since Sunday. Saturday when results came out. 4 days on, parleys are on both in Bengaluru and here in the national capital. In fact, the epicenter of all activity has been Mallikarjun Kharge's residence all this day. Right since the morning, flurry of activity continues even now. Anshul, my colleague, joining us live from there. And Anshul, I believe KC Venugopal and Surjewala now are at Kharge's residence.
So yes, the hectic parleys within the Congress party is continuing by the day. We saw that how Shiv Kumar, right after he left from the house of his brother DK Suresh, he went straight to Randeep Surjewala. There was a meeting that happened between them for approximately half an hour. Post that, Randeep Surjewala, who is the Karnataka Congress election in charge, along with KC Venugopal, has just reached the residence of the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge. And yes, the meetings are ongoing because the Congress themselves has given us a timeline that over the next 24 to 48 hours, the next Chief Minister of Karnataka will be decided, and hence these series of meetings are ongoing. And not only KC Venugopal and Randeep Surjewala, but also a lot of MLAs have also reached over here. Remember, DK Shiv Kumar had a meeting with at least 12 of his MLAs at the residence of DK Suresh, post which he went to meet with Randeep Singh Surjewala. And at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, what I can confirm is there are at least 5 to 6 MLAs of Karnataka who are also present in this meeting at this point in time. So yes, it remains to be seen if the Congress party can finally make sure that the differences that have arisen between DK Shiv Kumar and Siddaramaiah that is ended, and both of these leaders are on the same page. But yes, what sources within the camp of DK Shiv Kumar is saying that he is not at all ready to agree for anything less than the chair of the chief minister, and that is where this entire controversy is at this point in time. So yes,
and which is why we see senior leaders one after another continue to come and meet the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge. Anshul, do keep a track of what transpires in this particular meeting. We'll keep coming back to you, but for the moment, thank you so much.
Of today or tomorrow, and we will have a new leader of the Congress legislature party within next 48 to 72 hours. We'll have a new cabinet in Karnataka.
Who reigns supreme in Karnataka, and can the Congress avoid a complete debacle after what we've seen in several other states like I enumerated? Joining us on this broadcast, Member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha, National Spokesperson of the BJP, GVL Narasimha Rao, Spokesperson of the Congress, Mathew Anthony is with us, and Consulting Editor of Firstpost, Arun Anand is also joining me on this broadcast. And Mathew Anthony, I'd like to begin by asking you, is there a perfect solution that the Congress can find? Is there a middle path that both Siddaramaiah and DKS can actually agree on that would ensure that this government stays for the next 5 years?
Poonam, thank you for taking me into the show. And I've been listening to the conversation which you have been making. And I'm saying it's only 4 days, and we are just discussing and closing the matter. I don't see that the heavens are falling down by now for 4 days, because the election got over on the 13th, and 13th evening we got the results.
Sure.
And we are getting the things finalized, and there's a clear-cut discussion between the state and the central leadership, and that's where things are getting decided. And then this is a choice of plenty, unlike the BJP where you have only few leaders. This is a choice of plenty, and we need to make sure that the balance of democracy is being taken care of. Just like how we are discussing the Congress party's internal democracy very wide in a criticizing mode. I have never seen the channels discussing the 45 days delay in the cabinet formation of Maharashtra. I've never seen you discussing the delay in the government formation in Gujarat.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir, but I'm not discussing the delay in government formation even now.
7 to 10 days in UP and Assam.
But sir, that's not the question I asked you. I'm not discussing the delay on this part either. Like you said, it's just been 4 days and discussions are on.
Yes. And you will
But
have
my
the
question
name of
was
the
whether there is a middle path that can be found. Because it doesn't look like either parties want to back down. Both of them want the chief ministerial position and only one of them can be the chief minister.
It is a question
And this is
of
something-
merit, and we need to balance the merit between the aspirant candidates. That's very clear.
But
It
could
is-
the
it is a
Congress
question
party
of
have been better
competing
prepared, sir?
with-
It's no secret that DK, Shiv Kumar and Siddaramaiah didn't see eye to eye.
No, did you see all the? If you go by the optics of it, you have seen it all there in the pictures. It is others' perception that no, they don't see eye to eye. Did any of these names or any of the candidates have rebelled? They have not. It is sources. Sources are individual opinions. It's not a certified. It's not an opinion from the party. It is sources. So sources can say anything from their imagination, from their speculation. So we don't certify or we don't officiate the sources' information. The information will come from the Congress President's office.
Sure. And the information will be out in the next 2 to 3 days is what Randeep Surjewala also had to say. And GVL Narasimha Rao, why question the Congress party about a 4-day delay when, like the Congress points out, BJP has done this in many different occasions in many states in this country?
No, there has never been a case where there has been a tussle between leaders of the sort that you see today. The Congress spokesperson seems to suggest there are many other, they have a problem of the plenty. I think it would be worthwhile for us to know. So far, the media is telling us that tussle is only between two people. But are there any other dozen candidates in the fray who are being considered? Is that the kind of confusion that the Congress party wants to throw the people into? You see, they might as well decide it by tomorrow, day after, whenever. But the key interpretation of this whole drama, what does it tell you? The Delhi leadership lacks the authority. It lacks the capacity to intervene because they have had no role to play in the victory in Karnataka. They have won a significant big mandate, but Delhi leadership, the family which controls the party, had no role whatsoever in Karnataka win. Therefore, they cannot play even a referee. That's the reason that you see these long parlays and the tussle continuing. We have never had such a tussle. Assam, we had two tall leaders. One stepped aside after winning an election, and we brought in Mr. Hemant Biswa Sharma as the chief minister. The other moved in as a cabinet minister in Delhi. There was not a murmur. Mr. Yediyurappa, I think he on his own relinquished leadership at a time when he continued to be popular among the people. So all the examples that you can see, because the BJP national leadership commands respect, and it also provides electoral viability to the party, whereas Congress leadership is more of a burden on the party, and therefore they do not have the
But Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao,
they do not have the authority.
But Mr.
To really
Narasimha Rao, what the
intervene on
BJP
matters
says
like
is the decision making or strong leadership of the party, which is why you don't see such murmurs like the Congress. The Congress terms that as authoritarian leadership. They say that we have internal democracy in the party, which is why even if there are differences, they happen out in the open. So what's wrong in that?
No, but internal democracy will mean asking MLAs, asking them to choose their leader, which I believe they have done some 2 days ago. But this is now the central leadership is trying to sort of arrive at a bargain, or what is I don't know. If the MLAs have had,
So, Mr. Rao,
did they not have a specific preference? What we heard in the
certain
media is that majority of the MLAs were in favor of Mr. Siddaramaiah. Let the Congress party deny that. And if they have already chosen a leader, why was he not being sworn in? Why this uncertainty after the results have been...
Is there any official communication from our side on this decision? Till now, there is no official communication. We have said that we will make the announcement. And BJP insulted Yediyurappa, for which the Karnataka state's people rejected them on the face. And the Prime Minister Modi failed. Prime Minister Modi completely failed even after doing a full campaign in Karnataka. You have been rejected completely. And then you have been using the ED, CBI, enforcement and all other offices to keep the murmuring down. So that is not our practice. That is your practice. Ours is a democratic organization. Yours is a very oppressive and a dictatorial organization. So that's the difference which is there. And then when you're saying about candidates, has any one of the candidates made any official statements? There are no official statements. There are no question of rebellion. It is a speculation. It is an imagination of others, or it is a wish of an evil mind. That's all.
You see, Congress party claiming to be a democratic party, I can there can be no better joke on democracy, because you all said and done, people know you are a family-run enterprise. It may be a national party. Congress is a national party, but it's a family that controls. The point I'm making is the family that controls the party is unable to deliver any performance deliver votes to the Congress. Therefore, it has lost its moral authority. It has also lost its real authority. That's the simple point that I'm making. You may agree, disagree.
To speak against the two leaders. We have seen videos of your party president being side off by the Home Minister, insulted by their Home Minister.
Never. This is your imagination.
Two leaders in your party control it, and none of your leaders have the spine or the backbone to question them. So none of you have any opinion. Even if you have opinion, you will not speak about it because you're scared. You will be thrown out. That's not the case in our party. We have our freedom to express our views, express our opinion. We will discuss, we will listen, but we will have a decision, and we will go by the decision.
So it's democracy, Arun Anand, says the Congress party, and there is a process. There's internal democracy in the Congress. The process is being followed. The opinion of the MLAs was taken, and now the party leadership, along with the observers that were sent to Karnataka, are now making a decision. But can they find that middle path? Because they definitely cannot afford to leave any of those camps miffed. We have 5 other state elections later in the year, and then, of course, the Lok Sabha elections. Karnataka sends 28 MPs to the Lok Sabha.
There will be a decision. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Arun Anand, go ahead.
I think what we are witnessing is a trend which has been repeatedly seen in Indian politics. If you go back a little bit till 1980s or till late 1980s, this used to happen with opposition. Whenever you have a weak central leadership of a political party, of a large political party, it gets challenged from the regionally strong leaders. So what you are seeing actually is a challenge thrown by supporters of DK Shiv Kumar and DK Shiv Kumar himself, and he is flexing his muscle. I'm not saying that he is moving towards indiscipline, but this is a pattern which you see because the central leadership of Congress has weakened, its moral authority has weakened, that kind of charisma is not there which was there in Indira Gandhi. So, there was a time when Rajiv Gandhi, people like Rajiv Gandhi, leaders like Rajiv Gandhi, he had sacked the sitting Karnataka chief minister from the airport itself, and there was not even a whimper. And now you see, you are yourself witnessing that how rival leaders are flexing muscles. The same thing we have witnessed happening in recently in Rajasthan also. The similar thing happened in Punjab also. So there is a pattern. So it's a larger issue. Earlier it has happened, earlier with BJP also. Like there was a revolt of Kalyan Singh, there was revolt by Uma Bharti, but many of them, came back. So whenever relatively, you have a stronger central leadership, then the decision making is much more, you can say, smooth in the states. But whenever you have a relatively weaker leadership, now the challenge is, that there is a very thin line between being a disciplined party and being authoritarian, and there is also a very thin line between you can say an indisciplined party and indisciplined and internal democracy. So political parties use at their convenience the situation which suits them, and they pick up the vocabulary. But I think largely, it's an indication, it's a spoiler kind of a thing. The way Congress has comfortably won, I think Congress also needs to do some more introspection despite being winning this.
And Mathew Anthony, can you deny that the party has faced troubles, has had to pay the price in the past for misjudging, miscalculating or mishandling revolt and rebellion? Rajasthan is a state that goes to elections this year, 4.5 years, close to 5 years in governance, and the sparring between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot is out in the open even now. So the formula that the Congress tried in 2018, right after they won, then in 2020 when Pilot's first rebellion signs were seen, and what we're seeing now. Shouldn't the Congress party be taking lessons from that?
Yeah, in Rajasthan, Sri Sachin Pilot wants to have an action against Sri Vasundhara Raje. So that's what he is asking for it. And then the party with the state and the central leadership is in discussion to have a solution for the concerns which is raised by Sri Sachin Pilot on the governance concerns in the state of Rajasthan. See, politics is a decision making, and there are certain things when decision goes right, everybody will start claiming credits and everybody start giving the hands to it. But when decisions goes wrong in one way or the other, then there is a responsibility and there is a liability coming to it. So sometimes decision goes wrong, sometimes decision goes right. So in this case of Karnataka, and it has gone across with all the political parties, it is not only with the Congress party alone. So in the case of Karnataka, we said that we are going to come out with a time-bound decision in the next couple of days' time. So that's where we are in. And that's where the entire state and central leadership is focused on. And there is no question of rebellion, there is no question of discontent. There are claimants and there are aspirations, and the party is trying to weigh the balance based on the merits of the case. That's where we are in.
But don't you think the Rajasthan issue could have been handled better, or Punjab? The Aam Aadmi Party and the kind of mandate they saw in Punjab, a lot of it was credited to the kind of discontentment that was there and the kind of divide that was there within the Congress camp.
As said, in terms of Punjab, there's no point in talking over it, because we have lost the elections and, we have lost the government there. So in terms of Rajasthan, the party, state and central leadership is in constant discussions with all the stakeholders, and we are sure that we will have a workable solution, and we will have a winning solution in the state of Rajasthan. For sure that we are winning with the kind of governance and with the kind of rules and with the kind of policies which Sri Ashok Gehlot government under the Congress party has brought in the state of Rajasthan. We are sure about winning that state also. So we will wait and see about Rajasthan. The first priority is Karnataka for the government to swear in, and that's what we are in at this point of time.
GVL Narasimha Rao, there's absolutely no issue. Rajasthan may look like a divided house, but it definitely isn't. And neither will Karnataka be.
No, you see, when you see the state leadership in this kind of divided shape, in state after state, it does tell you certainly that the overall the health of the Congress party, the health of the organization is not in right shape. Karnataka, they did try and put up a show of unity until elections, which certainly helped them secure a big mandate. But the real face of the Congress party is now out in the open. And this is not the last election that is happening in the country or in Karnataka. And therefore, the real face of the Congress, this charade of unity that was evident before, that was showcased before the elections, now today seems completely exposed. Now the people are beginning to doubt as to what are the reasons for this kind of a standoff. Say, if one were to go by public, the MLA's strength, one were to go by the preference of the MLAs, a decision could have been made very quickly.
Sure.
So are there any extraneous considerations that are at play? Is there something else? Because the widely it was talked about how Karnataka would become the ATM for the Congress, which it had in the past. So is there some kind of a negotiation regarding this? These are doubts that people will start having.
Sure.
If the choice of the leadership is not made in accordance with the preference of the MLAs.
Sure. Poonam, can I come in?
Yes, Mr. Anthony, go ahead.
I'm not able to hear you.
Mr. Anthony, if you can hear me, you had a rebuttal to make. We'll try and fix that line with Mathew Anthony. I request GVL Narasimha Rao and Arun Anand to stay on with us because we have some breaking information that's now trickling in. The parleys here in the national capital continue. We're now learning that a key meeting is taking place, another one at that, at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. Surjewala, after that meeting, is going to be meeting DK Shiv Kumar, is what we are learning. This is what sources within the DK camp have now told CNN News 18. This is the inside track that we are gathering for you. Pallavi, my colleague, getting us more details. Yes, Pallavi.
So we were reporting this earlier through the day about what's really going to happen. The timeline is is shrinking, and the party clearly wants a quick solution to the entire issue, and therefore there are going to be likely to be some more rounds of meetings. Well, at this point of time, Randeep Surjewala, state in charge with DK Shivakumar, all that they're waiting for is if DK Shivakumar is not becoming the chief minister, for him to blink, to accept the proposal of either becoming a deputy CM or the rotation system. So far, the DK camp has been resisting it, saying that this is completely unacceptable. Now, this is one problem which the Congress party is facing at this point of time. So what they're hoping for is some kind of a breakthrough. So what we're expecting is some more meetings, possibly the last meeting between the Congress president and both the stakeholders. But before that, KC Venugopal, Randeep Surjewala, all of them trying to convince both Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar to have a working equation.
So that middle path is still being found by the leadership of the Congress party. Pallavi, thank you so much for getting us the latest. Arun Anand, GVL Narasimha Rao and Mr. Anthony continue to be with us. And before I wrap this up, Arun Anand, like we've been discussing, there has to be that placating that happens at least on one side. There's absolutely nothing that is going to ensure that both camps and both those leaders are content with the kind of decision that is made.
Yeah, absolutely. I think whoever becomes the chief minister, the other camp, the rival camp, even if DK Shivakumar accepts the proposal to become deputy chief minister, you are going to witness a similar situation which we have witnessed in Chhattisgarh, because in Congress the trust factor is now very low. The formula was applied that in Chhattisgarh TK Singhdeo will become chief minister after 2.5 years. But Bhupesh Baghel, he refused to vacate the chair. And he has neither he has vacated the chair nor the party leadership now has been able to, kind of fulfill the promise. So I doubt, that within Congress, how much is the credibility of that promise which the Congress leadership is making? Because as I mentioned earlier also, you have a very weak central leadership. Mallikarjun Kharge is just a facade. It's basically the Gandhi family which is running the party, but there is a formidable challenge to them, and this is what you are witnessing. And after the Chhattisgarh experiment, so as a matter of fact, in Rajasthan also, Sachin Pilot has had to. It's a bizarre situation where a deputy chief minister, where a senior minister is, kind of challenging the chief minister on road.
And not only is he challenging the chief minister or talking of corruption, alleged corruption of the BJP, he's also set an ultimatum for the chief minister of his own party to say that you have 15 days, act on the promises you made. So the Congress can't wriggle out by saying this is an attack not on the Congress's internal functioning but on the BJP.